fast and you do what you want.
Hey y'all, it is my first day in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. It's been a journey so far, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, let me turn this AC out because I'm getting a little bit. Sorry y'all, to get my energy out. I'm just in a good mood. But yeah y'all, so it's my first day in Puerto Vallarta. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried for a minute because it was a rush start. My flight, I had to take 2 planes, so I had a layover in Houston. My first flight was at 5 a.m. It was about 4 hours, and I landed in Houston, and then from Houston, I had to come to Puerto Vallarta. Now, my flight from New York to Houston, it got here on time. Well, it got there on time, but it took so long for them to let us off the plane, like 20-ish minutes. And to the point where when I got off, I had to run to the other side of the airport in order to get to my boarding on time. Like literally, I didn't run fully, but like I speed walked as fast as you possibly can before it starts to get classified as running. Like I had to go so fast in order to get to my fucking plane, and then I got there like just in time. It's like when they had like started boarding my group and everything like that. So it's like I didn't get a chance to eat nothing. I was overwhelmed. I was like kind of like I get kind of antsy when I have to rush. So it just wasn't a good situation. But I made it to the plane. Then on the plane, I was feeling real anxious or whatever, because it's like you about to be to a new country, and this is my first solo trip, y'all. So it's just a lot. You know, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what to do until you actually here. So I got off the second plane, and now I'm in a new country. I don't speak Spanish fluently. I speak it like pretty well, but not like so well. But not even pretty well. I'm like one step above like the basic like hola, como estás? I'm one step above that. And I'm not even like mastered at that next level. So it's just like a lot of stuff like it was just going over my head, and everybody was just moving so fast. It was so many people compared to when I was in New York going through TSA. It was like 15, 20 of us because it was 5 a.m. But now when I got over here at I think 11:50, which in New York I think it's like almost 2 o'clock. So by this time over here it's like noon. So that's when everybody is coming through, and it was like probably like 100 people going through customs, going through TSA, because it's like 2 separate things. And then all the signs are in Spanish. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, I was stressed out. Then I finally make my way through customs. Boom, cool, everything's smooth. Well, smooth enough at least. I get out like to where the exit is, and then I see a room full of people who I didn't know who these people were. They had like suits on. They all were like coming up to people, stopping people. And now that I'm out of the situation, I know that these people are salespeople. But they all kept stopping me like, "Oh, are you looking for your Uber?" And of course, I was, you know. So I'm like thinking they're gonna try to help me to find where the Uber is at. And they're like, "No, you don't need your Uber. I'll take you to your hotel and back to the airport when your trip is done for free. If you buy this, if you do this, if you come here." And like I was just like, no, thank you. And then I walk, and another one be like, yeah, don't trust that guy. He's a scammer. But me, I'm not. I'll do this. I'll give you a ride for the same price as Uber will, and I'll include 3 free tickets to the. And I'm just like, whoa. And then they asking me questions like, oh, yeah, you know, how long you're gonna be here? Da. Like you asking me like if I'm alone. Which if you're traveling by yourself, don't be telling people that you're by yourself. That's rule number 1. Do not let people know. Say you're meeting up with a friend, say someone is waiting for you at the hotel, whatever, but don't tell people that you do not know that you're by yourself. So yeah, so they're all just like stopping me. It was like 3 different ones where like they was not like, they was like, hold on, come. And he's like, I don't want you to go the wrong way, so come over here. And he's talking to me, and then also, mind you, they're offering me alcohol at the same time, which I was just like, can you even, like, I don't know. Anyways, I just was like, no, you have to stand on your ground and be like, no. When I first got off the plane, my service was not working. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I need to just get a SIM card or whatever. I was going through the airport, and I didn't really see anywhere to buy one. So I was a little confused, but I'm like, all right, I'm going to just order my Uber to my hotel, and then by the time I get here, I'll like go to a local place to get one, right? And I did see a place that's like not too far from here for me to get one at. So I'm like, okay, I can do it. But I'm getting sidetracked. Yeah, so I call my Uber inside the airport, and then they tell me that in order to get an Uber, you have to leave the airport, go over a bridge, and then on the outside of the bridge is where the Ubers meet you. They don't come inside the airport. So I'm like, okay. And I had saw something online about that too, like I think on TikTok or something like that. So I was like, I was kind of expecting it, but I was like, okay, yeah, so that's true. So, but the problem is that my service was not working. So me leaving the airport, that means I'm leaving Wi-Fi, and I'm just like, I don't really feel comfortable with like having no type of like Wi-Fi and not being at the airport anymore. But I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just call the Uber and then I'm gonna walk real fast. But I ended up walking the wrong way, and then a lot of people, they didn't speak English, so they couldn't really help me and all that stuff. So I was just like, so I go and I look, like I go the wrong way, and then I look across and I see all the way on the other side, I see a bridge. So I'm like, that's the bridge they want me to go to. I went the opposite direction. So then now I'm speeding. It's mad hot. It's like, I think when I got here, it was like, what? I think it was like, now, by the time I'm on the bridge, no more connection. So I'm like trying to look for the license plates. It's so many cars, there's so many people. And then there's other people who are like taxi drivers that are trying to stop you, like, get in my car. I can give you a taxi. I can give you a taxi. Mommy, you need a taxi? And I'm like, no. Because it's like, you have to be careful, like, you know, not to put no stigma on people in Mexico, because that's something that I hate. Like, I've seen a lot of nice people out here so far. You just still have to be careful wherever you go, whether it's Mexico, New York, Texas, anywhere in this world. You always have to be very mindful, especially if it's somewhere that you're not from. So it's a little safer for you to just like call an Uber and know like this person's information. This is where I'm going to. This, that, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a little safer that way, rather than a random person on the street who could just have a sign that says taxi, but really they're not even a taxi driver. You know, so I was having a hard ass time. And one thing I would say about Uber out here, I don't know if it's always like this, but in my experience with the Uber I just took, she literally waited for me for like 10 minutes. No, like 15 minutes actually, because I could not find her. And mind you, when she started calling me, I wasn't even at the bridge yet. And I still have to get over the bridge. So I'm like, oh my gosh, whatever. But she called me on WhatsApp or whatever, and somehow that came through. I don't know. And I ended up talking to her, and then she was like saying like the name of something, and I was like, I don't know what that is. But then I walked up the block and I saw that she was saying a restaurant name. So I was like, yes, like whatever that. And it was like a language barrier, so it was hard for us to communicate. She didn't understand me, I didn't understand her, but I just heard her saying the name. And then I walked up the block, I seen the same thing that she was saying. I was like, yes, there, I'll be here. And she's like, okay, 2 minutes. So thank goodness we was able to communicate, because I thought she was just about to cancel, and then I was gonna have to go back over the bridge, go back to the airport, try to order another Uber, and then try to see if I could find them again, like, which is just like a lot, especially with like people looking at you, with people like trying to get you to like give them money or give them business. So it's like, if they see you going back and forth, they might start going harder or whatever. Like, you know, I just want to be out of that situation. So yeah, so I ended up finding the Uber lady. She, I don't know, she was giving very much like hood Mexican vibes. Her name was Margarita, if that says anything. You know what I'm saying? Which, no shade to her, like, you know what I'm saying? I love my hood girlies from all over the world. So, but yeah, she was like talking about like, yeah, police has a problem for me. Da-da-da. I said, okay, girl, just get me to where I'm going safe. And she was a little mean, I'm not gonna lie, but she got me to where I needed to go. I was trying to ask her like, hey, like, do you know where the entrance is? Because it was like this random ass back block. It was mad alleys and all that stuff. I was low-key, not even low-key, high-key scared. I was like, yeah, do you know where the entrance to this place is? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh. And she like, listen, I came to the address, you gotta figure that. I'm like, oh. And then she saw like a little booth, so she just pointed to it like, and I'm like, all right. So I go to the booth. The lady at the booth don't speak no English, and this is the person who's supposed to be checking me into my Airbnb. So we just struggling, and it's hot as hell. It probably took about 20 minutes for her to get me checked in. I don't know if it was an issue with my Airbnb host. I don't know if it's an issue with the property in itself, but all I know is that it took a ridiculously amount, especially because they asked me for certain information. They asked me for my ID, all that stuff beforehand, so that way I can just come inside the, you know, Airbnb quick, smoothly, all that. But for some strange reason, it still took a long ass time, and it was hard because like I can't even really ask her that many questions. They're giving me papers to sign. I don't even know what it says, so I'll just keep being like in English, because it's like I'm not gonna sign a paper that says a whole bunch of stuff in Spanish and I don't know what it's saying. Now, it didn't say nothing bad, but I just need to know what the fuck I'm signing, because I could be signing, yeah, whatever the hell, I'm about to give y'all $1,000, you know what I'm saying? So she gives me the paper, the same paper in English, and then I read it in English and I sign it or whatever. And then I give it back to her. And then they let me in the Airbnb. They show me upstairs, whatever. And when I was, like, still in the Uber, I looked out the window, and I told you, like, it was, like, the entrance to this place is, like, in the most obscure, like, back block area that I've ever seen. And it's, like, a dirt road outside and all that stuff. And they were like guys, like all outside, and some of them were sitting in chairs, some of them were just passing by, which I don't care. If you mind your business, you're walking back and forth, okay, like I'm not gonna pay, like I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you know. But it was a few of them who were sitting down, like maybe 3 guys sitting down, and one of them, when he saw me, and we made eye contact. He gave me the weirdest creep smile I ever seen in my life. And then immediately I felt like my heart dropped. Like I was like, I regret this. I should have never did this. Like I always wanted to go into solution, but I'm like, I probably put myself in a bad position. I regret it. I feel like stupid. I feel so many negative emotions. And I was just like, like my heart was racing. I'm like calling people like that are like close to me, and I'm like, hey, like I don't know, like I kind of feel disappointed in myself. Like maybe I am, because like a lot of people around me, they're like, oh, how are you not scared to do certain things? Like, because I typically do things that a lot of people would kind of avoid, but that's just my personality. Like I would rather try things out and like give myself a fair chance at something rather than being like, oh, that's too hard or that's crazy or whatever. Like no, if I want something, I usually go for it, even if a lot of people feel like it's unrealistic. And so like when I was supposed to come out here like on this trip, people were like how are you even gonna do that? That's crazy or whatever. But I'm like, I don't know, like I just want to do it, so that's what I'm gonna do. So then like now I'm like having second thoughts, and I'm calling people and all this stuff. Well, I called a specific person, and they were telling me like, I'm proud of you for even making it that far. And although you might have had a uncomfortable moment, like maybe just stay inside for right now, and then maybe try again tomorrow, go outside in daylight or whatever, even though it was daylight too. But he's like, that guy might not be sitting there all the time, and maybe he was just there today or something. But they were like, just get settled in, try to calm your nerves, and then try to go outside. Like don't try to coop yourself up because you got scared, because there's people who look and stare and make comments in New York. Like think of it like the equivalent to that, but just be vigilant in case they try to like take it a step further than just being creepy, watching you or looking at you or whistling at you creepy. And then so I just stayed in the Airbnb. I tried to watch some Netflix, but everything on the TV is in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish. So the person that I had called, I had them like helping me because they do speak Spanish, and they were like showing me how to change the settings to English. But even still, like it was like half in English. Like it was like saying some stuff in English, some stuff in Spanish. I was going on Netflix, they only had stuff in Spanish, and I'm just like, how the hell am I supposed to entertain myself like when I'm not outside? So I ended up figuring out that I can screen share my iPad to the damn TV. So that solved my problem. And I wasn't really able to watch Netflix because a lot of stuff that I like on Netflix isn't available in Mexico. But I am able to watch YouTube, and that's how I've really been like entertaining myself while I was in the house. And then the person I was on the phone with, they told me like, hey, like, maybe don't go like out, but your hotel, it has a pool and it's right in front of the beach. Like, go outside to the pool at least, like, for your first night. And I was just like, okay, like, I'll do it. But I really wanted to, but I was scared. And I just, like, was, like, just kind of, like, afraid or whatever. So I was like, I'm going to just eat, relax a little, watch some YouTube for a while. And that's exactly what I did. And then after I ate, I don't know what that food had in it. It was so good. But I feel like it gave me, like, a newfound inspiration, like, I don't know. Maybe I was just, like, in my head and, like, freaking out because I just needed something to eat. Because, mind you, I didn't eat until probably, like, 3 p.m. And, like, yeah. And I was traveling. I was moving around a lot. I'm under a lot of stress. So it's like that on top of being hungry, it just don't mix. So after I ate, I felt like my anxiety went away. I felt better. I felt in a good mood or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just go to the pool for a little while, see how it is. And when I tell y'all, that was the best decision to freaking make. I got to call them after I finished recording and thank them for like pushing me to go to the pool, because I wanted to do it, but I was just like it's people down there, I'm scared, I have social anxiety, and I'm just like anxious about being in a new place and that situation with the guy and everything, and also my phone. But I had bought a SIM card online, and then when I tried to like activate the eSIM, it was saying that my phone isn't like that. I can't install it on my phone, which is weird because I checked the little criteria and it was like you have to have iOS 17 or more, which I do, and you have to have like I think iPhone 12 or newer. I have iPhone 14 plus, so I'm like I don't understand what the problem is. I tried to call my carrier, and I don't know, it was no help. But eventually it just started working like out of nowhere. Like I don't know what happened, but for some strange reason now when I go outside, I have internet and I can get phone calls. So I don't know how, but somehow it worked out. And yeah, so I just came back from the pool. I had such a great time. I'm gonna try to insert like some little clips of me, either right now or like as I'm talking. I don't know how I'm gonna do this crap, but yeah, I had a great time at the pool. It was so relaxing. They had like 7 different pools, and it was like 2 different sides, and they each like they had like an infinity pool, then they had a jacuzzi. Then they had like 3 other regular pools. Then they had another side that had like a pool here and another pool. And then it's right in the pool is overlooking the beach. So it was just so relaxing. I really felt like I was just like melting away like my stress and my problems and things that like have been really weighing on me for a long time. And I just thank goodness for this opportunity. And it's so funny to me how like I for a second was like second guessing myself, thinking like I did something bad or that I should have never tried to like get out of my comfort zone and go on a trip that's like this, like, you know, just me. But I'm just like, now that I actually got outside and I had a good time for a few hours, I am so thankful that I made this decision for me. And tomorrow is my birthday, so I am gonna like kind of chill right now. I'm gonna try to rest up, maybe watch some YouTube again and find something else to eat. Also, when I was anxious and I didn't feel like I could go outside, I did use Uber Eats, which was great. I paid $13 for a meal and 2 drinks, and that was after tip and everything, I think. So, you know, things are pretty affordable here. I like it. My Uber here was either $6 or $10, and then my Uber to the place that I'm going tomorrow is about $6. So it's like getting around, and it's on the other side of town. So getting around here is pretty affordable, which I really love, especially because there's been some issues with my money and like my bank. Like it's a lot to explain. Hopefully I have energy to explain it tomorrow. But yeah, basically, so I'm glad that things are so affordable to where like I can still move around and do what I need to do for right now until it's resolved. And it might not be resolved until Monday, but you know, it's a-okay. You know, I'll be all right either way. But yeah, so I'm gonna catch you guys soon. I'm about to go take a shower because y'all can't see, but I got my bathing suit on under this. So I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm gonna relax a little bit, try to get some sleep, and then I will catch y'all the next day.